In the modern entertainment economy, a record-breaking 26 million votes is celebrated as a monumental triumph on television. But behind closed doors, industry executives view that staggering number as an unprecedented liability. To understand the true dynamic between the current American Idol champion and the franchise's most successful alumni, we must first dissect the reality of winning in 2026. When Roberts secured his victory, the public saw a young artist achieving his ultimate dream, but market analysts saw a phenomenon that the traditional label system was completely unprepared to handle. 26 million votes does not just give an artist a recording contract, it places them under a microscope of impossible, algorithm-driven expectations. In today's fast-paced digital ecosystem, viral momentum has an incredibly short shelf life. While legacy artists were given years to carefully craft their debut albums and establish their public personas, Roberts is being forced to operate at a breakneck speed just to keep the digital algorithm fed and his massive audience engaged. He is playing a high-stakes game of digital survival, where a single misstep or a gap in content can cost him his cultural relevance. This overwhelming pressure to produce constant, immediate results highlights the fundamental flaw in the modern reality competition model. The winner's contract acts as a golden cage, locking the artist into a grueling schedule of promotional obligations that prioritize immediate capitalization over long-term artistic development. It is a stark contrast to the trajectory of artists who have the freedom to dictate their own pace, setting the stage for a massive ideological clash within the industry. It was marketed to the public as a passing of the torch between two generations of talent, but the underlying tension captured on daytime television revealed a silent, high-stakes battle for industry supremacy. The generational friction bubbling beneath the surface of the music industry was put on full, unavoidable display when Roberts made his highly anticipated appearance on The Jennifer Show. To the casual viewer, it was a standard promotional interview, a veteran welcoming a newcomer. However, body language experts, media analysts, and seasoned industry insiders saw something entirely different, a televised turf war. Throughout the broadcast, there was a subtle but undeniable tug-of-war for control of the narrative. Roberts represented the raw, uncontrollable, and highly lucrative energy of new media, frequently attempting to pivot the conversation toward his digital metrics and podcast reach. Conversely, maintained the polished, tightly controlled grip of a traditional media mogul, steering the dialogue back toward institutional milestones and classic show business dues. It was a visual representation of a much larger systemic shift, the reigning queen of daytime television, the viral usurper of the streaming charts. The encounter lacked the typical deference usually shown by new artists to established legends, signaling a bold new era where the incoming class refuses to blindly bow to the old guard. As clips of the interview circulated across social networks, it ignited a massive debate regarding respect, hierarchy, and the changing definition of what it means to be a superstar. The broadcast proved that the new generation isn't just looking for a seat at the table, they are actively trying to buy the room. While audiences were focused on the vocal performances and social media clips, the financial sector was quietly executing a massive reallocation of wealth that directly threatened the foundations of legacy media. The true difference between Roberts and Jennifer isn't found in their vocal ranges, it is found in corporate accounting ledgers. Over the past several months, investigative inquiries have uncovered a significant shift in how major marketing agencies are distributing their multi-million-dollar budgets. Lucrative brand partnerships and advertising campaigns that were historically reserved for established, legacy, daytime television slots are now being aggressively redirected into Roberts' digital ecosystem. Advertisers are chasing his unprecedented engagement rates, recognizing that a single, integrated campaign on a viral podcast often yields a much higher conversion rate than a standard commercial break on syndicated television. This corporate exodus of capital represents a direct financial threat to the traditional media empires that stars like have spent decades perfecting. The influx of new money into digital native platforms has forced legacy networks to undergo what insiders are calling unforeseen adjustments, leading to budget cuts, and within traditional entertainment sectors. We are witnessing a ruthless corporate war where historical prestige is losing ground to real-time velocity. The financial gap between the two factions highlights a cold reality of the 2026 entertainment landscape. Corporate loyalty does not exist. Brands will follow the attention, and right now, the attention is heavily skewed toward the unpredictable, fast-moving current of viral fame, leaving established institutions scrambling to defend their market share. The new generation of viral stars often confuses fleeting internet notoriety with true Hollywood power, entirely misunderstanding the multi-billion-dollar fortress that legends have spent decades building. While the financial shift toward digital platforms is undeniable, writing off Jennifer is a fundamental miscalculation of how institutional power works in Hollywood. The modern audience often equates chart position with industry control, but operates on an entirely different level. Her empire is built on the legendary, unshakable foundation of EGOT status, having won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. This is not just a collection of trophies, it is a key that unlocks the highest levels of corporate and creative autonomy. Doesn't merely sing for a label, she produces Broadway theatrical runs, finances independent film projects, and dictates the cultural conversation as the head of her own syndicated television network. She has successfully insulated herself against the fickle, volatile nature of pop culture algorithms by becoming the very institution that manufactures the culture. When Roberts is fighting for premium placement on a streaming playlist, Jennifer is the executive deciding which up-and-coming artists get the national television exposure they desperately need to survive. She has transcended the role of an employee or a contracted talent to become an employer and a gatekeeper. This section of our investigation reveals that true dominance in the entertainment sector is not about how many people vote for you in a single season. It is about owning the infrastructure, the production rights, and the platforms. It is the ultimate difference between renting your fame from a network and owning your legacy outright. Just as the media was to declare permanent Cold War between the two factions, a series of highly classified, closed-door meetings in Tennessee completely fractured the established narrative. In the highly orchestrated world of celebrity public relations, there are no coincidences. In early April, the entertainment news cycle was upended when investigators observed both Roberts and Jennifer arriving at the same high-security, private recording facility in Nashville. Accompanied by heavy private security and utilizing strict blackout protocols to avoid paparazzi, these clandestine meetings have sparked a firestorm of speculation. What is happening behind those soundproof doors? Are these two powerhouses burying the hatchet to record a generation-bridging, Super Bowl-level duet? Or as some legal experts theorize, are these sessions actually intense, high-level corporate negotiations regarding brand overlap, media rights, and potential buyouts? If this is a musical collaboration, it represents a of PR designed to merge Roberts' viral velocity with untouchable prestige, creating a product that dominates both the internet and the legacy awards circuit. However, if this is a business negotiation, it suggests that the lines between the competitor and the mogul are, and that may be looking to absorb the new wave of talent into her own production company. The complete silence from both of their respective management teams has only fueled the public's fascination. Whatever the outcome, these meetings prove that the dynamic between the winner and the legend is far more complex, intertwined, and calculated than a simple media rivalry. When the final accounting is done, the most shocking difference between the reigning champion and the established legend comes down to the invisible legal chains attached to the reality television crown. As we conclude this investigative report, the great paradox of the American Idol franchise becomes glaringly obvious. The shocking difference between Roberts and Jennifer is ultimately defined by the price they paid for their respective positions. By losing the competition over 2 decades ago, was spared the restrictive, suffocating contracts that historically trapped the winners. That initial failure gave her the absolute freedom to pivot into acting, producing, and hosting, allowing her to build an empire entirely on her own terms. Roberts, conversely, achieved the ultimate victory, but in doing so, he locked himself inside the very corporate machine that escaped. He possesses the trophy, the historic voting record, and the viral fame, but his immediate future is legally bound by the rules of the network and the label. The entertainment business is a ruthless, uncompromising chess match. Roberts executed a flawless opening move, the attention of the world, and dominating the board in record time, but is playing the endgame, sitting comfortably in a fortress built on decades of strategic corporate dominance and intellectual property ownership. As we watch this power dynamic continue to unfold throughout 2026, it serves as a powerful, sobering reminder for anyone chasing the spotlight. Winning the public's vote makes you a global star, but owning the infrastructure makes you an untouchable legend.